this one friend of mine invited me to hang out with him and his friends. It was the first time me ever actually hanging out with, more than two or three people, in a group. And we actually, after finish watching the concerts and stuff like that, that was in our university, we actually went to a club and a bunch of clubbings and stuffs. It was my first time ever clubbing. I quite like I'm just gonna be honest, like no offense. I didn't quite understand the point of it. Everyone just smokes, drink, blah blah blah. I knew that I wasn't gonna like it, but I didn't like hated it. Like didn't actually hate it, but more like okay, it's not for me. Like I'm just here for the dudes and for the vibes, maybe like for the boys. And it was my for the first time, so maybe it wasn't something that I should experience, but I just gave it a chance to socialize with my friend and stuff. And my point is, I feel like the more I stayed there, I felt like I'm not being myself. And like I'm not saying I wasn't like completely out of the group. I always was engaged with the group, and I talked a lot. I really had decent, like, good conversations with the friend who invited me specifically, and the new guy. I'm the new guy actually, so I guess like new people who I met there in the group, in the friend group. But one thing I realized, by the way, coming back to home, in a taxi, I spent what like so I spent so much money. So basically, I things that you wouldn't have spent if you just stayed at home. I'm not saying like it's a problem, but more like I realize how expensive I don't know, like hanging out can be. Like obviously not every single hanging out you have to spend like lots of money, but specifically let's say like clubbing, what so like you cannot like it's so I've been to Hongdae, which is like a really like bumping place. Like there's so many people around, and like it really wasn't for me. And I had to take a cab since it was what like 2 a.m., 2:30, and my phone was dying. I thought so like I basically didn't even think that I was going to go clubbing in the first place. I thought, okay, maybe it's just gonna be a hangout with this dude and some of his friends. We have festival going on in my university, so like in our university, so like maybe we're gonna have a good dinner or somewhat, and I'll be home and like before 10 at least. I wasn't expecting at all. I mean, also it's true that I was kind of driven um by the I was kind of influenced, should I say, like I was driven by the vibes and kind of like how they all wanted to go to this clubbing and doing all that. And I didn't really care less because clubbing wasn't something that I intentionally didn't do. I wasn't doing smoking and drinking are clearly the things that I never do. Like I limit myself, not even limit, like I just I've never smoked. Maybe I did drink a little bit before. Like I know how it tastes like, but I never was a beer or like drinking guy. But anyways, so like by the way, coming back to home after spending lots of money, like unusual, like I mean unnecessary spends, let's say. I like one thing I realized is about how I cannot control things. Like it's not about discipline when it comes to, let's say, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't drink like any sugary things. I limit those things, and I dial myself and my diet and kind of things. Like I realize it's not discipline. Like what I'm doing isn't discipline, and just in general, I realized that I cannot control myself. I cannot control. I just cannot have like good amount of dose to make use of that thing. So let's say alcohol isn't. I mean, yeah. I mean, biologically, it's is inherently really bad for us, but you could technically, it's possible that you can use it to your advantage to, I don't know, like have more connection, like social connection in your workplace, work field, so that you can end up being in a much better position to make money to better your life and provide for your family in the future, or like currently, while kind of sacrificing your health, and but also like having fun if you're the guy, if you're the type of guy who enjoys drinking with your boys, with other people. So and just in general, like whenever I had this arc of like let's say gaming all. Like I just all I do is like gaming 24 hours, 24/7. I cannot just use something in moderate amount. Like that's one thing that I realized. Like if I go into it, I just cannot control myself. That's also one of the reasons why I was extremely kind of scary at first, because I was like, this is not something that I do usually. This is like the first thing that I mean, first time I ever getting into going to a club and kind of things. This whole environment just looks so exotic and like strange to me. I was, but like deep inside me, I was thinking, I was very worried if I'm gonna get used to this one day. And like, like of course not. I don't see that happening. Maybe I can get used to, like I can what like something that I should be like the things that I should be really scared of is sleeping late, video games, or like, doom scrolling, things like that are actually practical and actually happen. Not practical, I say, like things that are actually plausible, you know, and happened several times before. But yeah, I mean, I don't think I ever felt good after controlling myself. Like, so let's say, like, if I were to play, if I have like 2 hours of free time, like it's around like, let's say 7 p.m. Like I cannot sleep, nor like I already studied enough of time, so like I can do whatever I want right now. But that's the kind of time also what gets me kind of uncomfortable, because like a lot of people think that if you do the things that you are supposed to do, or you're avoiding, or like you're what you, let's say, like the difficult tasks, let's say earlier, the first like earlier than those things that you want to enjoy, let's say, what I think, like how I perceive how other people do usually is like do the, let's say, like assignments, you log in, you study, you check yourself, you solve some quiz exercises, let's say, and once you're done, you kind of like indulge yourself, you hang out with your friends, and they just come back, like that's the part that I don't think I am capable of. Every single time I lock in into something that I really enjoy, something I really I love, then I cannot stop. Like I just cannot. And I already know that. That's why that's the point where I know for sure that if I start playing video games, let's say, I tell myself, oh, it's just a couple of hours every single day. But the truth is, I won't be able to just play just that a couple of hours. I know that for sure. And every single time I start playing that, I only play like, let's say, an hour, then I'm gonna feel like I need much more than this. Like I did all that and I need compensation. Like I need a reward for what I've done to myself today. How much I improved, the kind of thing. So like I justify my action through it. So that's exactly, like literally one of the reasons why I try to just not think about those things. I try to not give myself free time at all, so that I can just move from one task to another. But obviously, moving from just like tasks from other tasks like the entire day will exhaust me, and it's definitely not a sustainable plan. So I choose hobbies like piano. I actually purchased an electric piano so that I can practice at my place. And like things like reading, like things that are fun, but like things that aren't necessary, let's say, like I'm not obligated to do them, but I just do them because it's much enjoyable than studying, or things that I hate doing, not hate, but like just dislike doing, let's say, respectively. So yeah, that's literally the reason why I don't put myself into anything that I know for sure that will make me go all in and waste another like what 12 hours. And also same goes for, let's say, socializing and kind of things, let's say. I realize how different my world and these people's worlds are, like the gap between, the difference between my world and their world, like the kind of life that they're living and I'm living. And obviously this um extreme, let's say, like the feeling that I felt tonight has it like it's obvious that it's extreme because, like, like there's so many factors um that were in this like particular day. So for example, that was like my first time hanging out with a bunch of friends that were new, first time clubbing, like the environment wasn't something that I ever experienced before. So like that's another thing. And like these people are already like I'm very likely to be the kind of like the only person who was my kind, let's say, in that area, in this environment at that time. So everything like amplified, like multiplied. So I understand that as well. But and I'm not saying like they are any worse than me or the average, or like I'm any better than them. I don't know their lives at all. But just by, how do I say, like, just by the look of how they enjoyed their moments, and the kind of like things that you can just tell um by that one moment. Let's say like we it's obvious that my life and their lives are completely different, and like it just got me thinking, how much do I like how less, like how much I lack of social skill just in general, like not like talking. I'm good at talking. I mean, that sounds just so weird, but like I have no problem when it comes to talking. Like, like I just hit it off really easily with, even with the friends, even with the friends who I saw the first time. And just it was fine just in general. But like I'm not talking about like that kind of social skill, but more like I just don't know about this world at all. Like this is not some kind of like, I didn't even visit this place. Like it's not like a whole another country. It's not like I drove what, like 10 hours or something like that. It was literally right next to my place. Like right next to my, like 30 minutes by suburb. So like what, like this world is massive, and I just realized how much I just like how much, how do I say, like how much I thought that I understood about this world by texts, by just reading, not actually understanding. Just like the Mary's room thought experiment. But I think it goes something like, so there's this Mary. She is not colorblind. She can see just like a normal person, but she is trapped in, not trapped, more like, so like she is raised in a gray and black room for the rest of her life. She gets educated in only like gray and um black and gray, black and gray text, how do I say, like drawing books and things like that for the rest of her life. And what the moment she, let's say, like she studied colors, she understands 100% about colors, but in just in theory, let's say like the how waves are different if it's red, blue, and green. And the moment she, let's say, sees red color for the first time, it's like she understood red in the first day, like like before in advance. But it's not like she has no new experience at all. Like she's gonna experience something new there. Like she's never seen red color entire her life. Like she thought the whole world was gray and black. But the moment she sees red color, something's different. Like obviously, it's like massive change. Like a um an experience that would literally change her life. And that kind of similar thing happened to me. I feel like I thought that I understood. I thought that this kind of things were really easy. I'll say, like, I don't know, like very cheap experiences that I don't have to go through. But the moment I experienced it, it really felt like these are just people. These are just humans enjoying what they enjoy. I don't know. I don't even know how to put it. Like it's more like the kind of feeling when you finally feel it, when you finally understand it. Like not by text or theoretical way, but actually understand it. Also, I think like it feels similar way when there's like a tried, or like things that your parents tell you every single time. I don't know. Let's say um the don't chase girls. Let's say it's so common. Like everyone can say that, like you don't need to have massive like this knowledge, or tens of years of experience to tell that to youths. But the moment you experience something, the moment your life shows you how like the reasons why, like lets you experience the kind of things that like makes you understand, actually understand, like feel, make you feel why they said that in the first place. Because we all humans, at the end, we label, we describe the feeling. So it's not like love and then we say love. We feel the love. It's more like we feel the love first and we describe it as love. So like I feel like the feeling's so important. How do we call it? Lexia, was it? Actual like the actual felt feeling, like something that's not quantifiable. And it was crazy. Like I don't think I'll ever go clubbing at all, but like, obviously I'm gonna hang out with them whenever they are not clubbing, kind of things. It was just cool. New stuffs. Oh, I even got the marks here. I don't know if you guys can see it. So we visited two different clubs. I don't know the what are the differences. To be honest, like it's just the same. Techno kind of EDM kind of music, and loud. You can't hear jack shit. But anyways, yeah, that was crazy. That crazy experience.